Hey, how y'all doing? It's Rick Sincere with MTMV Sports, y'all. I'm so happy to be here with our WNBA correspondent, the one, the only C from Sports Talk with C and the Full 94. You've seen her consistently covering, not only is she covering, the Connecticut Sun, but also at the WNBA All-Star Games and covering all WNBA news and notes for us, but specifically making sure that we're up to date with what's going on with the Connecticut Sun. And there's something very, very, different happening right now in the WNBA. So many coaches are being let go from other positions, but in this case, I think it's something different from that. I don't think this one was more so just, being let go. I think there is some credence to the fact that, she's moving on to a new place. So we're going to talk just for a while about Stephanie White, the former coach of the Connecticut Sun, the current coach of the Indiana Fever. So talk to us just a little bit, see, about what you've been able to witness while, being able to cover the Connecticut Sun and seeing Stephanie White in action.
Seeing Coach White in action, not only is she a coach that holds you accountable for your actions, she wants to bring out the best in you in your position as well. That was the big thing for me, is players being accountable for what they do on and off the court. The first year she was with Connecticut Sun, she won Coach of the Year. And I know that Connecticut Sun has that core group, but to come from, coaching and then come into a team that already is built on defense, as we know with the Connecticut Sun, and then to come in, and I see that Coach White is more of a shooting coach. Offensively, she likes to move the ball. She wants a fast pace. And I think that bringing that to this young team as of Indiana Fever, especially the shooters they have over there, and Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hall can even shoot the ball. And I think bringing that type of offense to the Fever, making sure everyone is held accountable for what they do. There was one game where post-game, because, opening night was against the Sun, and Coach Size said, you can't teach effort. So that stuck out big, big for me, because she's going to hold you accountable for what you do. So, and I think that young core group needs that, especially with the high talent that we see. Kelsey Mitchell had one of her best shooting years that we've seen in the W, bringing her back home. She won a WNBA championship with the Fever. And what's like, you know what I always say, basketball players play better when they're happy. And this may be for Coach White to be in her own backyard. You can't beat that. And as Sun fan, a little salty, but as a basketball fan, I'm definitely happy to see the change for the Fever, because it's star power coming up. Not only 2 back-to-back rookies, just the class that they have. And I think the fit for, if Nelissa stays, Kelsey Mitchell stays, we don't know all the moving parts yet. But I just think, the pick and roll that we were dying to see between Aaliyah and Caitlin, we'll see it from day one. We'll be able to draw, defenders to them, and you can see Caitlin with her assist that she has, kick it out. And we'll be able to see Nelissa Smith do what we know that she's capable of doing. And I think Nelissa Smith under Coach White could be a 3-level scorer.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so you mentioned Kelsey Mitchell, and that's probably one of my first questions, right? Kelsey Mitchell is going to be a free agent. And do you think that, them hiring White actually brings her back or pushes her away from the Sun? From the Fever.
I want her to stay, because we've seen what the team can do, once the All-Star break happened, and we've seen what they can do running into the playoffs for the second half of the season. But do we know the true reason? Was it players? Was it locker room? Was it coaching? We don't know the reason. And in the exit interviews, it wasn't really addressed on why she wanted to leave. It was speculation. So we truly don't know if that was even real, because media is not always real. So we don't truly know what's really going to happen with Kelsey Mitchell. But I would love for her to stay under Coach White and this young core group. She coached Erica Wheeler back, with in college. I seen a photo of Nelissa and Coach White. the chemistry, I think, will be there. Being held accountable, I think, will not only help the team as a whole, but also individual, because you're going to be pushed to become better when you're held accountable for your actions on and off the court.
So I like the fact that you go to Nelissa. Um, what about Boston? How much do you feel like Aaliyah Boston would be helped from her coming to the Fever?
I think she'd be more aggressive down low, coaching a player like Bree Jones, coaching a player like Alyssa Thomas, where you see that they want to win so bad. You see the type of work that coaching Bree Jones and then going on injury. Then, Alyssa Thomas, we know what she did, stepped up and brought the team all the way to the semifinals. But having having players like that and then coming back to the Fever, just being able just to show her what they showed Stephanie, because I've always asked her, sometimes on a timeout, do you have to coach? She's like, no, this is a vet group. I don't have to say much. I have players on here that want to win. I have players on here that been in these positions before. So I just think taking what she's seen on the defensive end, how a powerful Alyssa Thomas was driving to the basket. You see her coming at you full force. Either you're going to take a charge or move out the way. So I think aggression for Aaliyah Boston is one thing that I would like to see more down low. She's going to work on her footwork crazy. We know she works out with the best, Tim Duncan. But I just want to see that aggression when you're in the paint, banging with the bigs. You can't body me. So I just think that with Coach White, that's what she's going to show Alyssa and building her confidence. Aaliyah, excuse me, building her confidence being in the paint more.
Now, one thing that we were able to see with the Sun is that they had great defense, and I know defense in the W is not just about effort, also about skill, but it's highly about effort, right? And so you think, based on you talked about accountability, you said she'll bring a certain level of accountability. I felt like the Fever's offense was probably one of the best in the league to me, just the way they flowed, and we'll talk about that in a second. But defensively, they look like they were a little shaky. And you think this is going to be one of the things that's going to increase their defense a lot?
Yes, I think being confident on the defensive end, we know what the Fever can do offensively. Between Caitlin Clark shooting, Kelsey Mitchell shooting, Lexi Hall can shoot, Aaliyah Boston can shoot as well, especially from, maybe, inside the court. But I think that with the confidence, being held accountable, pushing the pace, Stephanie was big on reading, reacting, reading what the defense is giving you, but not reacting too late, moving the ball, pushing pace. So just all those combinations with this young core group that she'll have with the Indiana Fever is going to bring effort, bring accountability, and want to play, because we seen when they started winning games, we seen when they actually wanted to play basketball, what happens. And when a star like Caitlin Clark, when you have the right pieces around you, when you have the right coach around you, we can definitely see what can happen.
So see, I'm gonna start asking you some selfish questions just for a second, because I have some of my own. Looking at Christy, not some of my own, but I asked questions for the people initially. Right now, I'm gonna get into my own bag. Um, so Christy Sage, I saw her. I liked her with the Indiana Fever. I don't necessarily believe she was done right in this situation. But I do know that she kind of had them moving, and she had them like they went from a bad situation to in the playoffs. And so I don't know if it's necessarily fair for her what happened, but are they getting an upgrade?
Yes, they're definitely getting an upgrade with Coach White because of everything that she has, not only being, at Vanderbilt, winning a WNBA champion, being in the W herself, being from Indiana, but just knowing the type of players that you have. I think knowing personality is one thing. And like I said, she takes accountability too. So when you are a coach and you take accountability not only for your players, but for your team, she'll tell you, we look terrible. We had a bad night. So I think that's another part coming to the Indiana Fever is just being able to have a coach that's like, yeah, we suck tonight, but we're going to watch film, or just even having a coach that can make in-game adjustments when needed playing against certain teams, because there was a lot of games where I felt that Coach Sides just didn't make the right adjustments during the game in order to win the game. Do I feel like it was fair what happened? Absolutely not. But because the high stakes where the league wants this team to be, Coach White is definitely the person to bring them there.
All right. So when Coach White was in the league, she wore number 22, right? She played for the Indiana Fever. The big question that, people are going to want to know for sure is what's going to be her fit and what's going to be maybe our coaching approach with Caitlin Clark.
I think she'll get to know Caitlin Clark as a person first, see how, and I think that's with every player on the team. I don't think it's just Caitlin. I think she'll see what each player wants to see from the team. When you win Coach of the Year, I don't think it's just coaching. So for you to come to a team and do it, your first year with that team, I think it's more to than just coaching a basketball game. So I think she's going to come in, know her personnel, what is the best each player has. What do they bring on this basketball court that's going to make this team gel, that's going to make this team move? What's the weakness that this team has? What is this team going? What is this weakness that this team's going to have that every team out there is going to pick us apart every time we play them? And I think that's what Coach White, is going to bring, because she watches film. We don't know who her coaching staff will be, but just the fact that she'll know her personnel, she'll know the weakness of each player, she'll know the weakness of the team. She'll figure out what is the best starting lineup. She'll figure out what works best of who's going to come off the bench. And she calls games as well. So not only has she seen these players in college, she's seen, she has that as well. Just calling the game as an analyst. So she has a lot in her bag to offer each of these players, just because she's seen them at all different types of levels, playing against them, seeing them as a commentator, and just being a player yourself. She's seen the growth. She's been here. And the first game I asked her against the Indiana Fever, when she was Connecticut Sun coach, she said to me, it was about time we given the product. We're here. And now she has this young core that, everyone says the Caitlin Clark effect. I've been watching it before then, so I get what everyone says. But, I think she's just ready to stay away from the media part of it and get back to the basketball part of the Indiana Fever.
Well, let's kind of move in that direction, fan expectation, right? Because you were there, she lit the sun up, right? Pun intended. So what should the Fever of fans expect from this team moving forward?
You guys are gonna start winning games from the beginning. You, as fans, you guys will be held accountable as well, and you're in for a ride. I'm not saying they're gonna win every single game, because it's a new environment, not a new environment, but with new players, I should say, this young core group. But I just think the fans are in for their money's worth that they've spent, selling out arenas, this high stakes team. And I just don't think, Nelissa said 1 minute they hate you, the next minute they love you. And I think it's going to be all love, even when they do lose this time around.
Look, I actually love the story, right? She's been in Indiana, fan favorite for so long. It's her hometown. She loves it. She can't even stop. Like, even when the conversation is not about that, right? She kind of brought it back up in one space, and she was just talking about how much she loves Indiana and how much she can't wait to bring another championship to Indiana. So I'm all for this move. I think it's going to be a beautiful, story when it's all written up, right? But let's talk about the Sun, because now this leaves a void there. They have been on an upward trajectory since she's taken over there, and they've been one of the best teams in the league for the last few seasons. This is going to affect them. Who do you have on the top of your wish list as a possible replacement for White?
That's my squad. I want to see a coach that is going to not only coach. We don't know if the core is going to stay because some of them are free agents. I want to see a coach that even when someone from the core is having a bad game, you sit them down.
Okay.
Because
You want that
energy,
accountability.
yes, energy is a big thing. And as a fan, I've seen, the energy trickle down when one player is not feeling it or when one player is not doing this. It boils over to every player, and you can literally see that. So I want to be able for a coach to come in, know that this is a defensive minded team, but also bring another wave of offense, a different way. And maybe I don't know how to put it out there because Steph White brung in offense, but a different type of offense that works with this defensive minded team. Do I know what coach from the vacancies that are out there, out of the coaches that have been fired? No. Can assistant coach Brigian take the head spot? I would like it. She's a defensive minded coach. I always say that defense wins championships also, but in this league, I feel like you need defense, you need offense, and you need that bench.
I feel like Moki from LSU. Um I think some of these jobs, like after the season, I don't know if she makes that jump up. I think it's a jump up probably coming for her soon. Um and I think there's a lot of college coaches out there who may
I
make some jumps. Yeah,
I well,
what you got?
Um, when I was talking about coaching, I said maybe going to the college level. I don't want to see men taking over the WNBA league. I want to keep it women coaching, women running the realm, women because this is women are powerful. So I definitely want to keep that in this league. So I said, maybe some coaches from college. Do I know which one? No, but I know coach from Tennessee may be a good fit, coming from
Okay.
the powerhouse of Pat Summit. So that may be a good fit for the Sun, but we just don't know what direction they want to go in. We don't know what players are going to stay, where players are going to go. Is it going to be the same core there still? Are they ready to move on and try something else? Because I know they want a championship in Connecticut. Is Connecticut going to be the place that they get this championship? I want them to stay. I want my core to stay. I want AT. I want DB. I want Bree. I want Dejanay. I want everyone to stay there, especially adding Marina to the bench. And I just think they need one more person off the bench that can score and play defense as well. But we'll see. It's been
Okay.
spicy off season, so I'm loving the spiciness. I want it to continue because it's only keeping everyone to talk about the WNBA.
Hey, look, I'm locked in, and I'm new to this party. Like I just got in the party, right? Like I wasn't a part of this party before. But I will say that 2 years ago I got my chance to first cover the Dream and just kind of watching that story unfold over some time. I love where this is headed. This is going to be a beautiful story when it's all said and done. And hopefully it's not all said and done, no time soon. I hope we see crazy levels. I have to get you out of here on this question. I want to know because we have a draft coming up, right? Not the actual draft, but before then, the draft, for the franchise, for the new franchise. Um,
Valkyries.
mm-hmm. So that draft is coming up, and you're gonna lose some people from the Suns roster, or from the Sun roster. Who are you hoping not to lose? Who do you think they'll protect, and then who are you hoping not to lose?
Well, as we don't have a coach now, so I don't know what to say is really. But
Yeah.
if I as a fan, as
Yeah.
a fan of the squad, that's my team. As here they are. I would say keep your core, of course. You only can hold six players.
Yeah. You can another fix.
That's three, plus Dejanay, that's four.
Okay.
Marina 5, because I honestly loved Marina and Dejanay. The storyline, will they get along? Are they gonna hate each other? So I absolutely love the spiciness.
Yeah.
That's 5. And honestly, I would say no. I would hold Alyssa, DB, Dejanay,
Hmm.
Marina, Veronica Burton, and Ty Harris.
Okay. Okay. All right. Why are you holding Ty?
Because when Ty shoots that ball, when Ty's confident, and when she's in a rhythm, there's no stopping her. And we know this year of 2023, she was shooting the three, number one, at 53% shooting the
Mhm.
ball. So it's more of just getting your reps in, having that playing time, your confidence level. And I know when Coach White was coaching her, she, betted her, you know, shoot the ball or you're gonna have to pay a fine. So I just, so I just
Yeah.
think that I would keep her on my roster because we've seen what she can do. And I just think it's a confidence level when it comes down to shooting the ball. I love the way she passes. I love her and Dejanay together. I love Alyssa and her together. And I think they do well. Only one I know everyone's probably gonna hate me, but I wouldn't save Brie.
You think you wouldn't save Bree?
No. Those would be my 6 spots I would save.
Wow. Hey, I'm looking at. All right, Dejanay. Um, I'm I wonder if there's an opportunity there because if you look at her over the course of the year, right? Not only was she like their defensive stalwarts, but she brought so much energy to
Mhm.
that squad and so much attention because people love and hate her so much, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like there's a whole fan base that loves. Oh, if you go to our TikTok, we dropped a video of her just kind of like talking after the Dream game, right? And boom, it just goes up because people love her and people don't like her, just like that, right? Um, at the same time, I wonder if there's a chance here to trade her for another offensive piece. Somebody who would like add some more offensive power to the Sun. Would you be interested in that or
No.
no?
I only reason why I would say not Dejanay is because we've seen literally all the work that she puts in. You don't want a player that you don't want to get rid of a player that was a bench player, got into the starting line, was defending the best guards in the league. The best guards in the league. And she got spicy all year round. She put in the work to get better. She was the
She did.
only guard on first team. So you don't get rid of a player that way because that's someone who wants to get better, put in the work to get better, had all the surgeries that she went through. And you wouldn't even know that because she doesn't put it out there. So it's like she went through all these surgeries, 2 knee surgeries, and to continue to work on her game. I want a player like that on my squad because I know when it's time to grind, when it's time to put the work in, you're going to do it. And on the defensive end, I want to win on defense. I want to win inside the paint. I hate that our game went to the 3-point line and further, but I know I would not. I would keep my defense, especially because she's, holding the best guards in the league to what their lows or just
Yeah, yeah,
making,
yeah.
and sometimes when a game is like, then you get that energy player, then the team goes on a run. That's all you need.
Yeah, she really like that. Like, I can't front.
She is.
She
So
really like that.
I'm not gonna know. I'm keeping A. If
Okay.
it was up to me, I'm keeping Dejanay. Absolutely.
Okay, okay, love it. Yo, tell everybody where they can find you. You're dropping mad gems on TikTok, right? You're doing your thing everywhere.
I
And
try.
you're at these games, yo. Tell people how they can find you and how they can keep up with the content you're dropping on a consistent basis.
Sports Talk with C on all media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Stay tuned, especially on Facebook. We have a lot of basketball conversations. I would love to hear your feedback, thoughts, and just have a good time when it comes to basketball. I am the ultimate fan. You are getting the fan perspective. So I just want to put that out there because I've never played. So you're getting the fan perspective on every day. And college season starts next week, and I'll be covering Providence women's basketball, as well as Brown women's basketball, and you'll be seeing that content as well. So follow your girl.
Yo, and
And the
tell them
new
about the show.
season
Yeah.
drops on November 10th, at 1:00. And I'm so excited. So you guys stay tuned. And also on Monday, guys, make sure you tune in live at 8:30 with me and the bros, the Full 94 podcast, where we talk everything basketball. So make sure you tune in. Also tune in with everybody on the network between basketball, football, wrestling, or MMA, I should say.
Yeah. Fight sports
Everything.
with the main card. Yep.
So everything. So tune in. Not the Same podcast. Pretty Love Girl Sports, the V Report, 494, everything that you can possibly think of for MTMV Sports. Tune in.
Yeah, we with it, y'all. Yo, thank you so much, C. We appreciate you joining us. And look, I'm stealing the Full 94 look and feel here. So I hope y'all go and check out the show.
Absolutely. Go check it out.
Don't hop
We have
on
a
other
blast.
people's stuff like that. But I did it.
But it's with me, so it's good. It's
right.
all good. It's
That's
all
what I'm
good.
thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, y'all. God bless y'all. We appreciate you. We out.
It's not just about the love of the game. It's about dedication and commitment through the process and the patience to endure. There's joy in reaching your goals and peace in knowing you've done all you're supposed to do. Ozell brand. It's not just a brand. It's a lifestyle.
Hey guys, it's your girl C, and you just watched the show on MTMV Sports Network. And if you like what you see and you want more exciting content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.